So even though it's like 3 degrees, we're going bare leg, ladies. So I'm at the house of the party, and I just consulted with the hostess as to who is single and who I can, as I like to say, which fish I'm going to fry. Because we're doing that now. We're like putting ourselves out there and letting ourselves be vulnerable, because androphobia can go fuck itself. And this is what we do when we're recovering. We do things that make us nervous and anxious and stressed in order to get over the hill and go far away. No, I'm clearly stress talking at y'all because I am aware of what I'm about to do to myself in the next few hours. Oh, hi guys, welcome back to my vlog channel. I am extremely inebriated, and this is the first time I've looked in the mirror and I've just realised that I have lipstick all over my fucking face. So I'm gonna clean myself up and get back to not flirting with people.
Nothing has happened. I'm even more drunk now. That's the update.
This is probably like bad advertising for alcohol or something, but sometimes drinking your problems away isn't always a bad idea. As long as it's like controlled and you're not like falling off the wagon. Once in a while, letting shit go, not a bad idea.
So apparently I'm getting
So early 2000s.
I'm getting drunk.
This isn't front facing.
So apparently I'm getting drunk twice in a row this weekend. Because fuck being my liver, right? Fuck being my liver. You guys want to say anything?
Fuck being her liver.
I'd very much like to be excluded from this narrative.
When I first saw you, I closed my eyes and the flashback starts. I'm standing there in the balcony of summer air. See the lights, see the party, the ball gowns. See you make your way through the crowd and say hello. Little did I know that you were Romeo, you were throwing pebbles, and my daddy said stay away from Juliet, and I was crying on the staircase begging you please don't go. I'm gonna get copyrighted. And I said, Romeo, take me somewhere we should be alone. I'll be waiting for you, but you never come. Is this in my head? It's the
Oh no, here we go. The key change.
fell to the ground and pulled out a ring and said, marry me, Juliet, you'll never have to be alone. I love you, and that's all I really know. I talked to your dad, no, pick out a white dress. It's a love story, baby, just say yes. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. 'Cause we were both young when I first saw you. Thank you, my love. I genuinely just complained about needing to vlog, and then Madison was like, just do it. So here I am vlogging. I have nothing to say. We're just in this really cool, like, desert looking place, and Maddie's taking photos of me. See, she's taking photos of me. And we're in this, like, amazing place called, I don't know, where are we? Garden World? And it just is a beautiful room full of like cacti, is that the plural? And a dinosaur, because clearly there was dinosaurs. So you know what the real tea is? I don't know what good content is. And I'm afraid of posting bad content, but inevitably as I keep going my content will be better and I will regret my first videos, which is like ridiculous, but that's where I'm at this very moment in time. Constantly thinking that my content isn't good enough or funny enough or really just like entertaining enough, especially when the views are so low, which is stupid because like no one follows me and like traction is like impossible to get unless you try really hard to get it, and I'm not really trying, so like what the fuck am I worried about? Also, I really gotta stop singing in my videos. There's a lot of me singing and playing the piano or the guitar. The guitar is coming, just me playing the piano so far. I have anxiety. Bye.
I don't mean to keep bringing Shawn Mendes into my life, but I'm literally sitting on the bathroom floor feeling helpless. I just learnt that my mum tried to send me to drama school when I was a kid, and I said no because I wanted to do gymnastics. And I cannot express to you enough how much I hate myself for knowing that that's true. Like, I genuinely hate myself knowing that that's a decision that I made, because I feel like I ruined my life. What if I went to drama school and I was like signed by now and in shows by now and living the dream by now, you know? I feel like I ruined my life. Or at least I could have been acting as a young kid, would have learned something, would have had more than I do now. Whatever. Anyway, I just spent the last 15 minutes absolutely sobbing my eyes out over the fact that I just want to start again. I just want to be 8 years old again, and I want to do over. I know that's impossible, but God, I'm so angry. I'm so angry at myself.
I moved and cancelled. I moved a therapy session a week over, and I really shouldn't have, because like clockwork, I broke the fuck down the day after I missed my appointment. I was like, I emailed her and I was like, hey, I'm doing really well, like all this shit, blah, 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 blah. Just because you're doing really well doesn't mean you can miss therapy. Just because you're doing well does not mean you can miss therapy. That is the moral of the story, guys. I've kind of come to realize that there's always a lot of stuff on my mind that I don't want to talk about on camera. And it's not the anxiety that I don't want to talk about. I have no issues talking about my symptoms and like how my anxiety manifests and like my coping mechanisms and any of that stuff. None of that makes me uncomfortable. A lot of what goes up in my brain recently has to do with like failure in regards to a career and being successful and doing what I want to do with my life and all of that stuff. And I hate talking about it. And it's such an interesting feedback loop, I guess, because I'm still currently ashamed of a lot of the things that I want, and a lot of the things, like my moral compass doesn't align with a lot of the parts of my personality that are true and real. Like, I hate saying that I want to be an actress. I'm not embarrassed by it, but I get really worried about what other people might think of me, because that's something that I want. I know why I want it, and I know what it means to me, and I know that it's really the only thing that's important to me in my current existence. But I hate publicly talking about it, which is really counterintuitive, because if I don't fucking start telling people that that's what I want, I'm really never going to get anywhere, am I? A lot of the stuff that's happening in my head, I'm really not ready to talk about or say out loud, or even hear myself say out loud. Anyway, that's the update for today. I really just, I'm lost, people. I am very, very lost. Being 21 is a constant existential crisis, isn't it? Oh, and lump anxiety on top of that. Woo! In a way, like, it's interesting, because I'm sure that pretty much everyone in their 20s experiences anxiety, but what I think a lot of people struggle to understand is the difference between experiencing anxiety and having a disorder. There is a massive, massive difference between having a disorder and having temporary anxiety. And a lot of the time, the people that have temporary anxiety appear to be in more strife because it's something that they've never experienced before and it's all new to them, and they just let it all out and they let it all happen. Whereas when it's something that you've had for decades, you learn how to integrate yourself into a society in a way that people don't really notice anymore because it's an embarrassing illness to have. Like, you would never know that one of my biggest issues that I have is I'm constantly planning for problems that are not in the realm of reality. Like, yesterday at like 2 o'clock in the morning, I messaged one of my best friends and I was like, is it possible to get an IUD put in immediately after you get an abortion? Because I was convinced that I was going to get pregnant if I ever, like, I was just convinced that no matter what, no matter how many precautions I take, that I'm going to get pregnant. Or another thing that I do is I solve problems that haven't happened yet or have no real chance of happening. So I have 2 job opportunities coming up, and I'm thinking about how I'm going to deal with the fact that what would happen if I got both of them. Like I'm already there. I'm like, what do I do? Do I say, because I can't say no to people, holy fucking shit, saying no to like being like, no, I can't. Like, can you imagine getting a job and then turning it down? Like, fuck that. That seems like the scariest thing ever. So obviously I have to say yes to both jobs and then somehow figure out a way to work both jobs. Or like, how do I like say yes to one job and say the next job hires me like a couple months later, then quitting that job in a few months is like, what the fuck? Like, I just got this job and I'm already quitting. Like, I'm really sorry to let you down like that. So like, what I'm planning on doing is, if I get both jobs, is somehow figuring out how I can work both jobs at the same time. Like, but literally, I haven't even had either of the interviews. I've just been asked to be interviewed. Like, that's what I mean by, you would never know that about me. You would never know that that's something that's wrong with me, because I appear to be this, like, functional human being, but the fucking shit that goes on in my brain is mad. It's mad. Something that my psych said to me was that I'm so used to being anxious and living in an anxious mind and living in a world where everything is always dangerous to me and out to get me, is now that I'm sort of older and accepting the fact that that's not real and not true, I have to relearn what it's like to exist in a world where it's actually not, you know, there isn't constant looming danger. So, point of this vlog is, there is a difference between having a disorder and experiencing anxiety temporarily. Cool. Thanks for coming to my... I gotta start saying, like, thanks for coming to my video rant. Maybe. We'll see.
You know what the real fucking tea is?
I'm the best part of this vlog.
Vlog. The real tea.
Can I actually see? Don't fucking miss therapy sessions.
You can't put that on the... You have to delete it. No, you have to delete it.